tornadoes recently ripped through the eastern part of the Midwest of the United States. And one of the places hit was Mayfield, Kentucky. And the issue today here is the Mayfield, Kentucky Consumer Products Candle Factory. A tornado came through and absolutely obliterated the place. There were people who were still trapped in there when all the damage was done. But the real story here is what management told the workers in light of the sirens going off and knowing the tornado was coming. Multiple workers have accounted that management told them they would face termination if they left the premises while they were still on the clock. A tornado's coming. You hear the sirens. Obviously you want to get to safety. They were told to hide in the bathrooms, apparently. The bathrooms? You don't have like a shelter? When you have a tornado, you're supposed to go underground. That's why throughout the Midwest, they have a lot of those cellars. When a tornado comes, they go into those cellars. That's the smart thing to do. They're hiding in bathrooms, really, with sharp objects. If that porcelain breaks apart and flies everywhere, it could cut somebody or kill somebody. The pipes can fly away and whack somebody, and there's just a whole bunch of hazards that exist in a bathroom during a tornado. It's just, But the real problem here is the termination threat coming from management because the workers wanted to leave and get to safety. What the hell? What is in your head? If you're somebody who thinks that it's okay to terminate people because they want to leave the job and get to safety so that, they can be alive to still work there if the job is still there later, you got something wrong with your brain. You really do. And I think this is a classic example of what the profit motive incentivizes people to do. And I know I've been saying that a lot on the show. But really, the profit motive is truly a perverse idea. It actually is a very dehumanizing concept. Because capitalism in general is basically just a game of numbers. Human beings, like the products they create or the services they offer, like the profits brought in from what they do or what they produce, are just inanimate objects in this game of numbers. Human beings in capitalism are nothing more than numbers. Okay? And that's the part of the problem here. Human beings have emotions. Human beings have biological needs that have to be met in order to ensure their survival. Capitalism does not take that into account. It never has. It never will. It's not designed to. The fact that these employers did not put their profit motive aside and just let these workers go to safety and say, everybody leave, day's done, you'll get paid for the rest of your day, just go home, get underground, stay safe. The fact that they didn't do that says a lot about this institution that was the Mayfield, Kentucky Consumer Products Candle Factory. The workers deserved way better than that. And, my heart goes out to the people throughout that whole area that got hit by the tornadoes. People died, people were injured, homes were destroyed, businesses were decimated. And we have a government, essentially, that says, oh, I'm sorry, thoughts and prayers, now go pull yourself up by your bootstraps. What the hell do we even have a government for? I mean, to be fair, there are people. Biden's coming out. He's going to visit the site, I believe, either today or tomorrow. Rand Paul, of all people, came out and said, we would like government assistance here. I'm paraphrasing, of course. And this is a hardcore libertarian type. He's the one who's like, no government assistance whatsoever. I don't want anybody getting any money for nothing from the government. And libertarians, like conservatives, have this weird idea of, if the government gives you a check, they own you. That's not true. We elect our government. Anyway, that's a whole different conversation. But if you have a workplace where management sees you as nothing more than another number on a spreadsheet, and this is how they treat you, stand up. Stand up to them. Claim eminent domain if you have to, and that's one thing that we need to be taking into account here. If employers treat you like garbage like that, and say, okay, you can go and seek shelter from the tornado, but you'll be fired if you leave. Oh, really? Well, then I declare eminent domain. because my livelihood, I depend on this job. I have nowhere else to go. You know, you're treating me like like trash. There's a natural disaster coming, and you're not taking any of that into account because you're just worried about your bottom line. So I think more workers need to be doing that when they come into a situation like that. Keep those two words in your mind: imminent domain. Imminent domain, not just for work, for housing, for schools, everything else that could possibly need funding, where you could find yourself out of a home, out of your school, out of your job because of a natural disaster, or because, you know, management was just a bunch of pricks who only cared about money. So this is an example of the importance of worker solidarity and the importance of changing the system as a whole. As long as we have a system like capitalism that incentivizes people at the top of the chain to treat those beneath them as numbers on a sheet or cogs in a machine, we're going to see more stuff like this. Eventually people are going to get fed up and they're going to lash out somehow. Now, I don't advocate violence. I don't, but I'm not naive to the fact that at the end of the day, things are so bad that a revolution might have to come to pass. I just hope that never happens. But if it does, we better be prepared to win. Because if we lose, we could see the return of Mussolini's Italy or Nazi Germany. Not that we're already heading in that direction anyway. But we could see that or worse. So we really, 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 really need to address the system itself. And the Mayfield incident here at the factory where workers were treated like crap is just another example of that. So stand in solidarity with these Mayfield workers. Please, know you're not alone out there. You factory workers out there, you're not alone. You are part of what makes America what it is. We're with you. Stand together. Don't put up with this crap from employers. The owner class may own capital, but they don't own you.